I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Bears edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Drew Bledsoe stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Down in Dallas, in the Lone Star State, we had the Cowboys get sent away with a 7-point loss. Chad Lewis had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Eagles beat the Ravens. Up in Seattle Stadium, we had the Seahawks come away with a 7-point win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Patriots win their 5th game of the season. Jaguars, Texans. Dominic Davis
wants to get his team inside field goal range. Gets the handoff at the 42. Oh, he may do more than that. He shakes two. He could go all the way. Touchdown.
The Texans win this one by the final score of 20-6. The Vikings defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at the HHH Metrodome. The Chargers won at home and will stay home for next week's game when they meet the Saints. Chris Chambers had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In the mile-high city of Denver, we had the Broncos get nipped by 3 points. Lavernius Coles had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Redskins beat the Packers. Bengals, Titans. John Kitna
looking over the defense from the 22-yard line. And a pump fake. Everybody stops. Oh, that buys the time for the TD.
The Bengals go on to win this by the final score of 38-28. And in our final game, we had the Chiefs come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Darryl Smith might be the biggest loss on this list. And you can tell from the expression on his face it was a bad one. A ruptured Achilles, and he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. In front of you, we've got the NFC list, and as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. This guy is probably the one that most leaps out at you. A stress fracture in his lower leg is causing problems, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for 7 weeks. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Douglas is another guy that's starting to make some noise with a terrific senior season. He was a virtual unknown coming into this year, but people are starting to project him to have a solid NFL career. I'm starting to jump on the bandwagon as well. So that'll do it for now, but you can guarantee that the big board is going to see a lot of risers and fallers between now and April.
So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.